Hello and welcome back to Tech. In this video, I'm going to show you to make a Neopixel cube lamp holder with using a few simple parts. Let's get started. And these are the items that you're going to need to make for this project. The items you're going to need is this WS2812 Neopixel RGB LEDs, and as you can see, I have 4 strips of 6. These 4 strips of 6 adds up to a full 24 Neopixel RGB LEDs, and the other items you're going to need is these wires, which will link these Neopixels together. And you're also going to need an Arduino Nano, a 9-volt battery clip, which will connect to this 9-volt battery to power the entire circuit, and you're also going to need these wires to link the Arduino Nano to the Neopixels, and the switch to connect to the powering this power on and off. And as you can see, I have these 3D printed housings, and yes, you may have noticed that this one looks pretty awful and pretty messed up. Now, the reason why this is messed up and awful is because, well, I'm actually redoing this video. This video was fully filmed and this project was complete. But the problem is that I actually lost the footage. So I am now redoing this video. I could reprint the housing, but the problem with that, it would take too long. This part here takes about 20 hours to print. So I don't really want to reprint it again and waste more filament when this housing looks pretty good. And as you can see, I have some imperfections. Now, this side here is another separate print. As you can see the little line here. This was a separate print that's covering the top. So this side here looks like this, just so you know. I could pull this off and re-glue it just for demonstration purposes only, but if I were to do that, it would crack and break. So I left this piece on and pulled off only this part and this part, just to be able to redo the LEDs to show you how to install the LEDs by connecting them together, attach them to the Arduino, and to be able to re-put onto the housing. So, as you can see, I had to redo this video due to a mistake. So now I'm going to redo this video, and let's go redo this and let's get restarted. And as you can see, these Neopixel strands are all pre-tinned, and what I want to do is I want to take these wires and connect all 4 of the strands together. So what I need to do is I'm going to take all 4 of these strands and orientate them in this position. There we go, just like that. And now a closer look. If you look at these arrows, I want to make sure these LEDs are following the arrows so that way the sequence can follow into this direction. And now what I want to do is I want to make sure that ground is connected to ground and digital pin out is connected to digital pin in, and then 5 volts to 5 volts. First, I'm going to solder the ground wire. And there we go, ground to ground. Digital pin out to digital pin in. And 5 volts to 5 volts. And there should look just like this. Next, I'm going to take these 3 wires and incorrectly solder them to the wrong part of the Neopixel strand. It's not supposed to go into the out, it's supposed to go into the in. Which means if you do it like this, the circuit will not work. But you get the idea where blue goes to ground, yellow goes to digital, and green goes to 5 volts. And there, it should not look like this. But I'll realize the mistake later. And what I'm going to do is connect these wires to the correct pins of the Arduino Nano. I'm going to take the green wire and connect it to 5 volts. Take the blue wire and connect it to ground. And I'll take the yellow wire and solder it to digital pin 6. Next, I'm going to take the 9-volt battery clip and I'm going to connect the negative from the 9-volt battery clip over to ground. And now take the positive wire from the 9-volt battery clip and connect it to VIN, which is voltage in, and the voltage input on an Arduino Nano is between 7 to 12 volts. And now watch what happens when you power the circuit when you connected the wires incorrectly. And as you can see, it doesn't work. That's because I connected it wrong. This part here is the output and it's supposed to go in this direction, which doing that won't work. So I have to connect it to the in. Going in will allow the LEDs to turn on correctly. And as you can see, I have corrected it. Now let's go test it out, and this is how it's supposed to look. And there, it works, just like this. So now take the wires and place them through the hole, just like this. And now correctly resolder the wires back into place. Ground to ground, digital to digital, and 5 volts to 5 volts. There we go. Okay, so now go ahead and take the Neopixels and put them into place. There we go. In the proper position, just like this. And now what I'm going to do is connect the Neopixels onto the second part of the housing. So what I'm going to do is place some super glue and place it onto the housing, just like this. Spray some activator and quickly place the Neopixels into place, and make sure that each Neopixel is placed perfectly on each individual square. Next, I'm going to place some more super glue and make sure I put a generous amount of super glue on each of the backside of the Neopixels. Spray some activator onto this second part of the housing, and then spray it onto the Neopixels. And now place the two housings together. Push it down nice and tight to make sure everything stays in place properly. And now it's time to place the rest of the circuit into place. Reconnect the 9-volt battery. Take the Arduino Nano and put it into place, and as you can see, it's staying on. And I don't want it to stay on, so what I need to do is cut the positive wire, remove the insulation, solder tin it, and now solder it to the push button lock switch. There we go, solder together just like this. And as you can see, I can turn the circuit on and off. Next, what I'm going to do is take some hot glue and glue down the wires. Take some more hot glue and glue down the Arduino Nano. Take some more hot glue and glue it down onto the push button lock switch to insulate those exposed leads and to glue down the switch. Next, I'm going to take the 9-volt battery, flip it over, and take these neodymium magnets. Place them onto the 9-volt battery, just like this. And now take some more hot glue and place it on top of each neodymium magnet. There we go, just like this. And now flip it over to make sure that the neodymium magnets are glued into place. Press it down. Take some more hot glue and glue down that wire. And there you have it, the magnets are now glued into place. I can just simply pull the battery off, just like that, change it, and then replace it where it sticks back into place, just like this. And there, it stays in place just like that. And there you have it, the project is finally complete. Now let's go ahead and test it out and see how this looks in the dark. Simply push the button, place it down, and there, it should look just like this. What's really great about this device is that it's a beautiful decorative piece, and you can even take, let's say, your phone. Place your phone inside, just like that. You can even take, say, another tool and put a tool inside. Maybe a hammer inside. or maybe a pen. Probably, more than likely, you may want to use it to put a bunch of pins inside. Just like this. You can put all kinds of interesting things and useful things inside. Put your pins inside, you can put your tools inside, you can put your phone inside, anything like that that you find very useful. And there you have it. Now you know how to make your very own DIY NeoPixel cube lamp holder with using a few simple parts. Thank you for watching SciTi Tech. I hope you learned something new, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and of course click on the bell icon to be notified for future SciTi Tech videos. Till the next tech, goodbye.